Hi everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to complete word problems that involve solving rational equations. So let's take a look at example number 1. It says, it takes Heather 7 hours to pour a large concrete driveway. So I'm going to highlight Heather and 7 hours. Then it says Alberto can pour the same driveway in 8 hours. So I'm going to say Alberto can do the same job in 8 hours. How long would it take them to work together on this job, right? How long would it take them to complete it if they worked together? So the way that you want to solve these types of word problems is you want to condense it down to the unit rate. So if Heather can complete the job in 7 hours and Alberto can complete the job in 8 hours, we need to convert those hours to their unit rate, or how long it would take them to do this job in 1 hour. So they'll complete 1/7 of the job in 1 hour, and Alberto will complete 1/8, or 1/8 of the job in 1 hour. This is called a unit rate. And the way that we get this unit rate is by 1 over the total number of hours. So if we want to find out how long it would take them if they work together, then we need another unit rate for that. So if they work together, it's going to take them, let's say, X hours. We don't know how long it would take. But we know that their unit rate, if we follow this same pattern, 1/7 and 1/8, would just be 1/X. So the formula that we're going to use to solve this is we're going to take Heather's unit rate, so I'm going to put H for Heather, plus Alberto's unit rate, and we're going to set it equal to their together rate, right, if they work together. So Heather plus Alberto will equal their rate together. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to use their unit rates. So Heather's unit rate is 1/7, Alberto's unit rate is 1/8, and their together rate is 1/X. So we're going to do 1/7 plus 1/8 equals 1/X. Now, to solve this rational equation, we need to make a common denominator for all three pieces. So let's just focus on the common denominator for these two. Well, we can make this 8. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. We can make this 7, right? Remember, all we have to do is flip-flop them. So if this has a 7, that needs a 7. If this has an 8, this needs an 8. So right now, 8 and 7 is the common denominator. So if we were to include x, we would need to have x be the common denominator as well. So we need to include x over here and x over here, and we need to include x here and x here. So if you take a look at it, each denominator right now has an x. So I'm going to use blue for x, so it has blue, blue, blue. And then the Heather's is 1/7. So Heather, there's a 7 here, there's a 7 here. We need a 7 here for it to be the same. So we're going to multiply by 7. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And then we have Alberto's number, which is 8. So we have an 8 here, and we have an 8 here. So we need an 8 here. So 8 here, and 8 on the top. So to make a common denominator, all three pieces need to be there. So we need a 7, an 8, and an x, so all three of the pieces. And remember, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So once you have that common denominator, you can cross it off, and we can set the tops equal. So 8 times x times 1 is just 8x. And then bring down the plus. 7 times 1 times x is just 7x. And 7 times 8 times 1 is just 56. So now we're just going to solve this equation. 8x plus 7x is 15x, and 56 stays 56, and to solve, we'll just divide by 15. So we get x equals approximately 3.7. So we'll say 3.7 hours. And if you put that into the calculator, you'll notice that there are more decimal places, and that's okay. I'm just choosing to round to the nearest tenth. And in the directions, it should have said what to round to, so don't stress about that too much. And then at the end of every problem, you always want to see, does my answer make sense? If Heather can do the job in 8 hours and then Alberto can do the job in 8 hours, their job, if someone's helping them, like Heather's quicker, right? She can do it in 7. But if Alberto is coming to help her, they should be able to do the job quicker. So your answer, 3.7, should be less than Heather's hours. All right, I'd actually like you guys to try example number 2 for homework, and then we're going to do example number 3 together. All right, let's take a look at example number 3. So it says, Joey can build a large shed in 10 days less than Cosmo. If they built it together, it would take them 12 days. And they want to know how long would it take each of them if they worked alone. So let's gather the information that we have. We have that Joey can complete the job in 10 days less than Cosmo. Well, we don't know how long Cosmo can complete the job in, so Cosmo is X days. But we know Joey is 10 days less than that, so Joey is going to have to be X minus 10 days. And we also know that they can do the job together in 12 days. So to make a equation, we have to get them down to their unit rates. So we know the unit rate is just 1 over. So 1 over X minus 10 would be Joey, 1 over X would be Cosmo, and 1 over 12 would be them together. So remember, what we're going to do is just add them. So Joey plus Cosmos must equal their job together. So let's see what we have. So Joey is 1 over X minus 10. Plus Cosmo is 1 over X, must equal their together rate, which is 1 over 12. So we're going to find a common denominator. So let's use some colors. So Joey is going to be yellow. So if I have an X minus 10 here, that must mean I need an X minus 10 there. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So we're going to put X minus 10 here and X minus 10 here. And then I also need a yellow over here. So X minus 10 must also go here, and whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So now every denominator has a yellow of an X minus 10. So now I'm going to use together is 12. So this is, we're going to call green. So I need a 12 here, and I need a 12 here. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I'm multiplying 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, and 12 here. And then the last one would be Cosmos, which we don't know what his is, so I'll use blue for Cosmo. So his is X, so I need a blue here, and I need a blue here. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So an X on top, X on bottom, X on top, X on bottom. So if you notice, every denominator has a blue, a yellow, and a green. A blue, a yellow, and a green. A blue, a yellow, and a green. So now once all of the denominators are the same, you get to cross it off and set the tops equal. So I've got X times 1 times 12 is just going to give me 12X. Then I have 1 times X minus 10 times 12. So I can put the 12 in front and multiply it like this, and you'll see that we're going to distribute. And then same thing over here. I have a 1 times X minus 10 times X. So if I switch it, put the X in front, we have X times X minus 10. So we're going to distribute the 12, and we're going to distribute the X. So I get 12X plus 12X minus 120. And then X times X is X squared. 10 times X is 10X. So I see my like terms on this side. 12X plus 12X is 24X minus 120 equals X squared minus 10X. So I'm going to solve to 0 because I have an X squared. So I'm going to subtract the 24X on both sides, and I'm going to add the 120. So I have 0 equals X squared minus 34X plus 120. And now we have a trinomial who has a leading coefficient of 1. So we need to factor using add multiply. So take a couple minutes, try to find the factors of 120 that are going to add to negative 34. So pause the video until you've got it. Okay, so the factors that I got were 4 and 30. So it's a -4 and a -30, which will add to a -34. So when you do your T-chart, remember you're setting each piece equal to 0 and solving. So you add 4 over here and add 30 over here. So we have two possible answers, 4 and 30. And now we have to decide which one of those answers is correct. So if you look, Joey's hours is x minus 10. So is there any way that Cosmo's hours could be 4? Think about it. If I were to put 4 in here for Joey, 4 minus 10 would give me -6 days. Joey can't complete a job in -6 days. So that must mean x cannot equal 4. So we have to reject it because it doesn't work. And the only way you would tell is if you plugged it in and you saw that you got a negative value. So that must mean x has to be 30. So if x is 30, that's Cosmo's, right? Cosmo is x days. So to answer the question, Cosmo can do the job in 30 days, and Joey can do the job in x minus 10 days. So if Cosmo is x and x is 30, 30 minus 10 would give me 20. So Joey can do the job in 20 days. So that would be your answer, right? They're asking how long would it take each of them if they worked alone. So 30 days and 20 days. All right, I'd like you to give number 4 a try as well for homework, and we'll go over questions 2 and 4 when you return tomorrow. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great night.